How to finally get past those $10,000 months if you're a full-time coach already. I see so many people, they'll go full-time, right? They'll start to earn anywhere between $4,000 to $6,000 a month in their online businesses, but they struggle there. A lot of people, they quit their jobs, they're now making a full-time income, and now they're struggling to get to those 10K months. And what I want to do today is I want to break down for you 4 things that I would do if I had to do it all over again to go from those $4,000 to $6,000 months and just blow past the $10,000 months so that you do not have to be stressed and worried about things. Your business is probably feeling like a bit of a roller coaster where you have word of mouth clients coming in, maybe the random person from social media, but you don't have that consistent lead generation. You don't have a very good close ratio, and your retention is not where you want it to be. So let me walk you through these 4 things that are going to allow you to go past 10K months with your business this year. So number 1 is consistent lead generation. For most people who are making a full-time income, it's sporadic lead generation. Sometimes the strategies you're doing work, sometimes they don't work. So often what ends up happening is you're getting clients, but it's like you'll get 3 clients this week and then you'll go 6 weeks without any clients. And so we want to, number 1, make your lead generation a lot more consistent. So the first thing that you want to do to make it more consistent is to actually look at, okay, what platform am I using? How is my audience growing? How am I generating leads? You want to make sure that from a content standpoint, a conversation standpoint, and an audience growth standpoint, you have more consistency. So look at those numbers and notice, when is my audience growing? When am I generating leads? How is my content performing? How are my conversations performing? And oftentimes you need to do 2 things. You need to simply do more of those things and do better at them. So if you're having 5 conversations a day right now with leads, maybe try to have 10 conversations a day. If you're posting once a day, maybe try to post twice a day. If your audience is growing by 5 people a day, do audience growth activities to get you to 10 a day. Start to just bump the numbers up. That's one of the biggest things that you can do. The second thing you can do is, like I said, do better. So think about, how can I make my content better? How can I do my conversations better so that I have more responses, that I'm going more in depth with people? How can I do these strategies that are already somewhat working better, right? We call it basically optimizing something or upping the volume of it. When you're wanting to get past $10,000 months, you need to do both. So do better and do more when it comes down to lead generation. So that's the first thing. The second thing that I want you to do better at is the sales process. I just find for a lot of people who are now full-time, who are wanting to get past 6 figures, they are having some discovery calls, but their close rate is really low. Maybe it's at 15%, maybe it's at 20%, and you're wanting to get to the place where maybe you're closing at 35 or 40%. So you want to work on your sales close ratio. A lot of times at this point in your business, you're booking calls, but you're not really going deep with these leads. One of the things I would recommend for you is, when people are getting to become hot leads and they're booking calls with you, is to go overboard. I often say, treat them like a VIP person. Go overboard, sending them more information, sending them a value piece, a freebie, sending them testimonials. Go overboard in the sales process, and also learn how to sell better. At this point in the process, a lot of you need to actually just get better at sales skills. So whether it's learning from people who are incredible at sales, whether it's joining a program that teaches you about sales, is one of the things that right now could unlock the next level of your business. So that's the second thing I want you to be working on. The third thing is actually how to have an incredible retention system, because a lot of people who are full-time, their lead generation is sporadic, their sales close ratio is not quite popping, and most clients will join the program, but they won't re-sign again. And so you want to make sure that you have retention offers so that when people graduate from your first program, that there's other options that they can join. Sometimes it's more expensive programs, sometimes it's a very similar price, and sometimes it's a lower price. This depends a little bit on your industry. But for those of you who want to get past $10,000 a month, one of the simplest things to do is to simply keep your clients twice as long. If you're making $5,000 a month, and you can keep your average client twice as long as you are right now, that in of itself can get you to $10,000 a month. The incredible thing is, what I'm sharing with you today is, if you actually have more consistent lead generation, if you have a better close rate, and if you have better retention, you could actually 3 to 4x your business with just these 3 things. You could go from $4,000 to $6,000 a month all the way up to $10,000 to $20,000 a month if you did it correctly. So at this stage in business, stop focusing just on the things that kind of work and start honing in on the things that are actually going to work. The fourth and final thing here is to track. This is where you need to become a business owner. You need to stop just winging it, throwing shit at the wall, and you actually need to track your numbers. Why? Because right now you're putting in 40 hours, let's say, a week, and only maybe about 15 hours of that time is actually spent on things that are effective. But you don't know it's effective or not effective unless you track things. So start to track your audience growth, your lead generation, your sales close ratio, your retention, all those things, and start to notice which activities that you're doing are actually benefiting and which activities are just a waste of time. A lot of full-time entrepreneurs can easily get to $10,000 months if they just optimize their time. But the only way you can optimize it is by tracking. So start to daily track what you're doing, the results you're getting, and what you should be keeping and what you should be getting rid of. If you do these 4 things as a full-time entrepreneur, if you do them right, you're going to be getting past 6 figures and getting your business to a point where you are scaling it. So if you have any questions, comment them down below and I'll answer all of them.